In today's demonstration, we'll be discussing the Vonage Business Communications Admin Portal. This is the portal that allows you full access to make modifications on the fly to the Vonage Business Communications system, as well as do your initial setup. Inside the web UI, you're able to launch the dashboard, which shows you a lot of your generalized features, including the system status. This is important because it gives you visibility into exactly what's going on inside the Vonage cluster. Anytime there is a rolling update or issues, this will be reflected here, and you can click on any of these links to get more details from our support group as far as what is going on and what's being done. Another great feature of the Vonage Business Communication System is the Help button. This allows us to go in and actually look at our support or contact us information, things of that nature. You can also request assistance from here. The phone system icon allows you to see all of the items that are currently available to you in the Vonage Business Communications platform. This does not necessarily mean that you have all of these features deployed. However, since this system is a self-service portal, you can add services at any time directly from the store or from the icons if they're not available. The account summary will show you what's going on in your system at any given time as far as what phone numbers and what features are deployed and what type of plan they are. The user setup is fairly simple. You can simply click on Add New User, and you can go through and put in the basic information at the top, and you can select which permission level you want that user to have. You, by default, have one super user account, which can create as many of the sub-accounts as they want. Your account administrators can create as many sub-accounts as they want. However, their only administrative limitation is that they cannot see or modify other administrators. The other administrative levels are for their subcategories, such as billing. They are all standard users with elevated privileges for their specific task, like billing, call queues, reporting, or user admins. You have several other check marks available to you as to whether or not you want that user to have that feature or functionality. And you can also assign your extensions from in here. Once completed, you would hit save, and the end user will receive an email from our system welcoming them to the Vonage Business Communications platform, and they can complete their own setup by setting their security question, their answer, and their password. If for some reason the end user cannot reset their own password or they don't remember the answer to the security question, you can simply hover on their name and click on the reset password key, and that will send them a full reset email. Your extensions will show you what extensions are assigned to what users. In this case, I'm going to click on My Profile, and I can see all of my basic settings. Do not disturb, what my telephone number is, call continuity, whether I show up in dial by name directory, disable call waiting, etc. I also have my call forwarding section, which allows me to forward my calls to an outside line, to a simultaneous ring, or to a follow me. My devices section will show me all devices that are signed up in my system, and I can quickly add a device by clicking the Add Device button, giving it a name, and inputting the MAC address and what provisioning model I'm using. There are also additional advanced properties available to you in the device section, which I will show you in a moment. You can also see here that your default E911 location can be set for all devices or individually by device. Your voicemail settings allow you to set your email and how the voicemail property functions. Voicemail to email is native to the VBC platform right out of the box. You can set it to delete voicemail after sending email, or you can choose not to send the email at all. You can also record all of your greetings, as well as set an out-of-office greeting for when you're away from the office and disable it on the fly. It should be noted that all of the features and functionality that we're discussing are available inside of the mobile UI as well. Inside of line appearance, this allows you to set and configure shared line appearance and busy lamp fields more quickly by simply clicking the Add New, selecting busy lamp field, what extension you want to work with, and selecting the extensions that you want to see as a busy lamp field, for example, on that device. Once you hit save, you can power cycle the phone to instantly see the busy lamp fields, or you can wait a period of approximately 30 minutes for them to show up automatically. All of your rules will show up in this table, and you can easily modify or delete them at any time. Your phone numbers repository allows you to see all the phone numbers available to you in your system and where they might be assigned at any given time. You can also customize what you see in this field so that if you have custom tags applied to your phone numbers or call groups or extensions or virtual receptionists, you can see that as well so that I can more easily tag my information. The virtual receptionist is also commonly known as an auto attendant. This has the same features and functionality of most phone systems, where you can go in and set your extension, what phone numbers, what location it belongs to. Do you want after hours business, so you do one thing during the day and one thing at night? Or do you want to have this run 24 hours a day? It also contains a manual scheduled override feature, which allows me to set this in case of inclement weather, where the office might be closed due to bad rain or snow, and I can have it programmed to play a different message during that time, and it will automatically expire based off the date and time you set and go back to normal operation. I can also program how I want it to function. Do I want it to go to a single extension, or do I want to play a list of options, send it to voicemail, repeat the greeting continuously, or repeat and disconnect? Then I have the same options for after hours. I can send it to an outside answering service, I can play another list of options, or I can route the call elsewhere. You can create as many virtual receptionists in this system as you want, so you can make the system as simplistic or as complex in the routing as you want. Conference bridging is the standard audio conference bridging feature that is available on the Vonage Business Communications platform for environments where video conferencing is not available or allowed. Call groups is a feature more commonly known as a hunt group in most phone systems, but it functions exactly the same. Assign the users that you want to be members of the group, assign phone numbers if needed. How do you want the call group to function? By ringing all people or going one by one? And what do you want it to do if nobody answers? Do you want to send that call to the call group's voicemail, or send it to the voicemail of another user inside that group, or maybe route that call to another group or extension? You'll also have some more advanced features like call screening and call announce, where call tags are in use. Again, this does have its own voicemail, so you can choose to use the voicemail of the group or send it somewhere else. Paging groups is a unique feature that allows you to leverage the speakerphone of the physical hardware that might be deployed in your system. When the extension is dialed, any calls that are not active on the hardware, you will hear a message come through that speakerphone. For example, cupcakes in the break room for birthdays this month. You can also use it as an emergency announcement system, etc. Your call queuing system allows you to have a basic call center, which gives you more accurate metrics on what's going on. This is a step up from standard call groups, where you would only see if the call was answered or missed. In this situation, you will see, was the call answered, who or what agent was it answered by, etc. This will give you more accurate metrics in your system and is very cost effective. I can go in and set this up in several different ways, including a tiered based deployment. I can set it up as a least used. I can set it up to ring all agents, or I can set it up in random. I get custom hold music for this queue where I can do custom messaging. I also have comfort prompts that allows me to say, "Thank you for calling. Please stand by. Someone will be with you shortly." And after a period of time, it will come back and say, "We are experiencing normal then higher call volume. Please stand by. While you're waiting, please visit our website," etc., etc. I can also program the system what to do when there's no agents available. Do I want to send it somewhere else, send it to another queue, send it to a voicemail, etc. On-demand recordings is a system that allows you to apply call recordings directly to an extension and give that end user call control of the recordings. This would be useful in a situation where you need to take credit card information or something of that nature that cannot be recorded. They can pause the recording while they collect the information and then resume the recording afterwards. Each user will get 15 hours of storage on our system at no additional cost, and they can download these, view them, and play them directly from the desktop app. Company recordings is an account level add-on which allows you to also record the entire PBX or just specific users. This is more commonly used in a situation where you aren't recording any sensitive information and you just want to record the entire call. The administrator has full capability to view, play, download, and share and delete these recordings, as well as notate. You can do a bulk download if you want to, or a bulk delete. You have 500 hours of available recording storage on our system. However, you also have the capability to click on the settings and let it dynamically expand at 250 hours per block for a price of $20 per month. More importantly, I can have multiple rules to look at multiple groups of people. I have an audit log, so I know what administrators have done what in the call recording system, and I can also set specific permission management as to what administrators can do what in the recording system. Call monitoring allows me to, at an account level, assign users the capability to monitor other users with Silent Monitor, Whisper, and Administrative Barge. It's as simple as selecting the user, going in and selecting the users that they are able to monitor, whether I want to play a disclaimer or not, and setting a PIN. You can find more information on the call monitoring feature and any of the more advanced features directly on the Vonage.com support site and click in the feature you're looking for. Our system offers two types of faxing. The first is a shared fax or group fax that allows you to share it out by extension simply by clicking on the fax settings, and you can go in and tell it what format. You can set how long you want to use it for, what phone numbers you want to use, what location the fax is assigned to. You can also go in and set who can use it and who cannot. The other option that's available to you is personal faxing, which allows you to use your assigned phone number on your extension as not only a voice option, SMS option, but also as a personal fax option. This feature cannot be shared with other users. Call blocking is the administrative call blocking portal that allows me to go in and set rules across the global PBX for other users. However, if your end users also have call blocking capability, you can see their rules and copy them and recreate them for the entire PBX, or you can delete them. But more importantly, you also have the capability to notate why you wrote that rule. Was it for a spam call? Was it for a robocall, etc.? Your business app section allows you to configure things like business inbox, which allows you to use your virtual receptionist number as an SMS contact point or Facebook contact point. Click to call me allows you to configure HTML code on your website where the customer can put their phone number in and receive an instant call that will then connect them with an end user. Receptionist console is available in the system for end users to handle more call volume, drag to drop, etc. And you can get more information on the Receptionist Console feature and functionality from the Vonage support page. Smart Numbers is covered in another demo video and discusses the programmability of a telephone number to process additional information before it's connected to an end user. Your account information allows you to see your details about who the active contact is, the locations, your E911 locations, which are unlimited. This is especially important if you are going to assign virtual or physical hardware to someone. You want to make sure it's properly assigned to the correct E911. So if 911 is dialed from that device, they show up to the proper services and the proper location. You also have ESAC settings that allows you to receive a call internally if someone in your organization calls 911. User permissions, you have the capability to see who has what permissions and what specific permissions that they have. Your PBX settings are your generic PBX settings on your time zone, what hold music you're going to use, and how you wish to present your caller ID. Messaging settings allows you to go in and determine, are you going to use SMS on an account level, team messaging on account level? Do you want to set exceptions for those to be able to leverage and more finely tune what features your organization will use? Your locations will show you all of your locations if you have more than one. However, this feature is controlled on the back end, and if you need additional locations, you must go through the support group in order to do so. Dashboard settings allows you to show whether or not people are visible in the dashboard of the desktop UI. And the archiving feature allows you to request an archive of the last 12 months of your messages and download those into systems for compliance capabilities. Your store allows you to go into the system and purchase things on the fly. Again, this is a self-service portal, so if you need to buy additional extensions, you can do so directly from inside the administrative window and quickly deploy your new users. However, the only piece that is not instantaneous is hardware. If you need to order hardware for an extension, you can still deploy that user in the soft phone configuration on their desktop or mobile device while you are waiting for the physical hardware to show up. The billing system allows you to go in and more easily see what's going on as far as your bill. Unlike most systems, I can go in and see every single order that's been placed on my system so that I can more accurately determine what features I've added to the system, so when I have a bill change, I know why. Most importantly, in the billing section is the managed services, which allows me to see exactly what I'm paying for on my system right now and customize where that's deployed. So for example, in our earlier discussion, we talked about on-demand call recording, which is a per-seat user add-on. I can go into the system and click on the magnifying glass and see which users are actually using that system, and I can easily add or remove users from that system at will. The reporting system is completely built into the Vonage Business Communication System and is not an add-on. This allows me to go in and see my call reports, company reports, users, call queues, call groups, and more importantly, call quality. But for example, the company summary allows me to look at standardized reports at intervals, or I can customize. The customized reporting has a limit of a 90-day window. So you can only look at a maximum of 90 days at any given time. However, you can move that 90-day window wherever you want. So I can go in here and go to January, from November to January. I can look at specific times of day and specific days of the week. But in this case, I'll look at the whole report. Now I can click on my all reports and I can see nice graphical representations as well as my actual reporting with any call recordings that are involved with it. I can customize the view of the columns to see or remove any additional data. Most importantly, I can quickly advanced filter the system. So if I'm looking for a specific caller ID, for example, I can go in and say I'm looking for inbound calls that were answered off of this phone number and hit apply. And this will quickly filter out all other data so that I can keep this information. The last important piece is I can now save this report so that I can reuse it again later. Your save reports will show up at the top of the reporting window and allows you to easily access any reports that you've created. The user reporting system is similar, but allows you to filter by specific users. And I can go in and look at a monthly, for example, and I can see specific information about that user and how they took their calls. I can also go in under advanced filters and I can look at recorded, not recorded, certain caller IDs, etc. And I can also save these reports. The last piece is the call quality. This will allow me to go in and see calls from end to end, meaning from your endpoint all the way through to the customers and through our SBCs. This allows me to determine if I might have an issue in my system. For example, if a user comes to you and is complaining about voice quality issues, you can go into the system and look overall at the score. If the score is good, but on their particular extension, they're having problems, you may want to look at physical cables, the hardware itself, the wall plate, or something of that nature, as opposed to the entire system. But this is a great tool for you to be able to look end to end at what's going on with your network utilization and your voice quality. This has been a brief demonstration of the Vonage Business Communications admin portal.